Hello Libra, welcome to 8 of Cups Tarot and welcome to your cards for June. What an absolutely beautiful reading, and I can't help, I'm so drawn to the whole Pisces moving, or Jupiter moving into Pisces in your 6th house, which is really what I'm picking up from this reading. So let's start with these two cards up here. The Queen of Water representing the energy the universe kind of needs you to be in for the month. And you got the Queen of Water. And this is my favorite queen out of all of my decks because I look at her face and there's always an element of surrender that I don't always pick up on with the Queen of Water. There's something very peaceful about the energy that she is in, which tells me, which is something that's, something that you should be grateful for this month, is that you are in this energy of peace and surrender, which means that you're probably primed to receive, to be open to new experiences. And then I think of this eclipse that comes up on, I believe, June 10th. And it's a solar eclipse in your 9th house. My 9th house is always my house of expansion. And this is all about the way that your mind is opening. And it's about learning how the universe really works. And so I love that the next card out is the Call, card number 20, which is ultimately the Judgment card repeated in your reading. And I love a Judgment card because it means that there's direction. It means that we are making the choices about what do we want our world to be. Now you've got a lot of stuff going on in your 10th house. You've been hosting Mars there, moving towards a critical point where he will be opposing Pluto soon. And then you have Venus in there in the 10th house, softening, bringing kind of a more spiritual look at the way that life is going and what you want to experience next. And I think for a lot of us, we're going through all of these really big changes, and I've said it before, I'll say it 1,000 times, we never stop learning. But we have to grow and then continue to learn. And of course, there's times where we all get stuck in probably some karmic situations, and it seems like it's easier to just stay safe, stay sure-footed. And then there's other times in your life where you know that the next thing that comes along is going to change all the things. And there's a lot of us that can go through that process kicking and screaming and, wanting things to always stay how they are and what they are, and wanting life to mimic some kind of idea of safety. And then one day you wake up and you just realize that there's a big difference between the head and the heart. There's a big difference between making all of the plans and then letting the universe kind of show you what the plans should be. And that's why I love these two cards together, because I pick up a side of Libra that feels like they want the next big thing. And the thing about the month and the thing about eclipse season in general is that it can be very jarring. There's a lot of nervous energy. And even if there aren't like specific things happening to you, you shouldn't really doubt the idea that other people are kind of going through some stuff. And you might be really coming along, and there's an emphasis here on union. I don't know if it's like to a specific person, probably. And it may be you needing to really hold firm and stand ground with someone else as a form of devotion, 6th house Jupiter. But I also think that there are people and things coming into Libra's life. Maybe this has been happening for a few months or so, that are really opening their eyes to like other stuff. And that's the ascension. And I'm dubbing this month and this eclipse season as the ascension and integration. And normally we go through like the ascension, right? Like we have we could take our time with that. Like we could sit in that energy, we can learn, we could take all the time that we need. But because we are in such mutable energy, and because it's the eclipses, so we know that the universe is kind of really driving the bus at this point. And you can expect there to be rapid opportunities for growth and expansion for you if you're willing to do it. If you're willing to see it. Like some of these situations, this could just be like conversations with other people. And you may be even getting like a new set of teachers, I want to say, for my Libras. Now, if some of you are already spiritual, maybe there's some new things that you're learning. You know, maybe you're starting to get into like the whole manifestation and watching those videos. And even like real everyday people, taking the time, getting to know people, having like the deeper conversations. And you begin to realize like where we are collectively, right? And where you are in your life. And I think part of the call, I think part of the judgment is, where are we at our life and where are we going? What are we going to do next? What do we want to experience? And so under this Queen of Water, we have show the world the real you, the full moon in Aquarius. And just so you guys know, when I pulled this card out, this one came out underneath. It fell to the floor, hold your vision, fixed moon. And I was kind of laughing about that because I don't think the universe is telling you to hold your vision. And it literally fell on the floor upside down. I don't typically pick up cards from the floor. I think that's an energy that you're leaving behind, is like this holding pattern. And that's what I see here with this Four of Pentacles, is like this holding pattern, which means that for a lot of things or a lot of stuff that's going on, you're probably going to feel this restless energy, because this is all about the restlessness. And you're going to want to hold something, and I see it as holding sacred. Sometimes this Four of Pentacles can be greedy, and I don't see it as greedy. I just see it as Libra needing to still feel like they're in control, which is something that's hard to do when you have a situation in your life that brings in a Two of Cups. And this is about those profound relationships, those profound conversations, the new people that you meet, the new spiritual guides, the new, you know, somebody who inspires you to do the new career, go on the new vacation. I mean, this could be as small as somebody saying, hey, have you ever been to, you know, such and such country? And instead of just saying, no, I would never, you know, maybe that's the universe saying, have you ever thought of this? Here's some new ideas. Here's some new seeds to plant, because Pentacles are the seeds that we plant. And I think that Libra's coming off a little bit careful, maybe not truly sure they want to actually plant those seeds. And sometimes I get this Four of Pentacles feeling of like taking things a little too seriously. And that's where we get stuck, is when we take things a little bit too seriously. We take life a little too seriously. We take this plan or this thing that we thought we were going to do next, and it doesn't work, and you're super frustrated, and you hold on. And you hold on to certain elements, and most likely, you know, 9th house solar eclipse comes through and breaks out that, and I get the feeling like it's the last of it. 2020's done most of it, right? Like we've all made a lot of changes. We've all changed who we are. We've changed how we believe in things, what we believe in. And yet there's always like those remnants of holding on to the old stuff. Because if you completely let go, it could really add to the restlessness. And I think that it's already overwhelming. And your instinct this month is going to be to stay peaceful. And I love how underneath the call card, we got this card of divine timing. Divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. I love that this card comes out, and if you really do look closely, you see there's like these little stars up here. And on the other side of this Two of Cups is the stars, and all the stars up here. And this is all about the divine timing. And she's a water bearer. So I love it because there's the element of emotions, right? Pluto opposing Mars, 4th house, 10th house stuff. This is a big deal. This is a big deal because this is where you're starting to realize that it might be a little bit worth it to release all of this control over these Four of Pentacles things. And the Star card indicates renewed hope, renewed vision, and strength. And the Two of Cups is those unions, those people that come into our lives, probably at the perfect moment. And this could be like the same old people, but suddenly you start to see them differently. And you see them with eyes of compassion. Queen of Water, you understand like we've all been on this journey. We've all done all of this soul growth work. And so now you start to see the changes in you. You start to truly heal yourself and do those things. And the Two of Cups is just naturally what happens next. And so you spend all this time releasing. And here you are at another point of release. And you can never, ever forget the idea with the Star card here, with this woman being naked, being vulnerable, being open. And I think Libra's ready. I think like this is the soul and this is the mind of Libra, and the process has to lie within the integration. And the mind says, maybe this feels foolish. The mind says, it's too fast, or there's too much, or I can't make that kind of change, or I'll never have enough stuff. I'll never have the money to make that career change. And these are like the self-limiting thoughts that we have. And we've got this Aquarius here, show the world the real you. And this Aquarius here, which is all about the authenticity, which means that if you come into these unions in this energy, you don't have to spend the entity of those relationships in this Four of Pentacles place of trying to maintain the control. And this is like the side of Libra that doesn't want to give, doesn't want to be that vulnerable. And then here's the other side of Libra that says, yeah, but the universe is showing you ultimately how cleansing this is. And I see that as like such a specific message of like the purging and the cleansing. Cleaning out those cobwebs, opening those pathways, you know, even like our veins, our arteries can get clogged up, and the flow isn't so easy. And this is the clogging up. This is a hesitation. This is the pulling back. This is I'm not sure if I want to go this deep. And the Star card is, you absolutely do. And I love the Star card because it also comes with emotional intelligence, okay? And I think that's a really important element for you this month, is remaining emotionally intelligent, which means there's a healthy dose of detachment. And I think it's important to realize that both things are super important, right? Our ability to hold out, meaning we're not willing to settle. Not going to settle for the past stuff. Guys, Mercury retrograde, it's going to bring back the past. It's going to bring in, at the very least, situations where you have to kind of observe the old you and the old behaviors and the old situations and kind of weigh them back and forth. And this is how the old me would do it. And what about the new me? What about the experiences that I'm calling in now? Because your soul is calling these relationships to you. Your soul is calling these new teachers, these new partnerships, these new unions. And it's also important to understand, like, the amount of time you're willing to put into the things and what you get back. And this is all about the expectations, right? Like the Star card, it doesn't have all of the expectations. It's not about the burden. It's about the healing. So it's about accepting the experiences and the people that come into your life as not something that you can hold on to forever. It's not something that you can control. It's not something that you can plan and plot. Like, we always do that thing. Like, we find these people and then we plan. We make all of the plans instead of just embracing and being in the moment of what it is and what it's going to do for you now. We have this Page of Swords, and I like this Page of Swords because it's so childlike and innocent. And the Page of Swords can and will be brutally honest. And I feel like this Page of Swords is a representation of the conversations, the profound inspiration. So you can expect those things to kind of come through. You can expect yourself to kind of have the deeper conversations. And you should, because the thing is, you have to be honest. The more honest you are, the more you could start to let go. And all of a sudden, this Four of Pentacles turns into this Four of Wands. These are the seeds, and this is what happens. And the Four of Wands is, yes, it's a card of union and celebration and enjoyment and lightness in life, for sure. This could just indicate like a very social month, a lot of getting together and enjoying the relationships that you have and actually taking the time to enjoy these unions and these experiences. But you cannot ignore the Four of Wands. First of all, it also represents, a home, which represents our foundations and our stability. What you don't realize maybe if you look at it with a smaller mind, you won't see how profound these things are, but they are. And there's just something about this Two of Cups that makes you have to step out of this comfort zone. Right? This is a being out of the comfort zone, which means there's stress and anxiety, and like this is being stuck up in your head. Jupiter, Pisces, the 6th house. You have to go the spiritual route, which means you have to listen to your soul. And you have to let go of the expectations, because right underneath this 9 of Swords, we have the Magician in reverse. And this is like the knowing. I love the Magician because he can manifest whatever he wants. He can create whatever situation that he desires. And so we can create the really beautiful situations. We could create the really magical moments Four of Wands. But you can't create these beautiful moments and then carry the stress and anxiety over in it, because then all of a sudden you begin to manipulate the scenario. And that's not really something that you should do with these opportunities that come your way. And there's like this Page of Swords that's like so free, so easy to like make the connections, to go out and do the things and just follow the flow, kind of. And the Nine of Pentacles is such a beautiful Virgo energy. And you know, there's no doubt, like Saturn going retrograde in your 5th house means there's this time while Saturn is retrograde where you have the opportunity to kind of really learn a lot of stuff about yourself, like rapid soul growth and integration and understanding. And it's gonna be through the avenues of like being more playful, being more honest, being less planning and controlling, and more I get the feeling more of allowing the opportunities to build onto each other. And I have so drawn to that word of the building. And anchoring everything next to the Magician card in reverse is a Judgment card. And ultimately what it's asking you is, what do you want to believe in? Are you going to listen to the heart, or are you going to listen to the soul? Because, you know, the head energy, the mental place, the logical planning and thinking, yeah, you're going to want to be in this stability place. There's a lot of pressure on Libra to like make sure there's enough. There's an essence of, you know, planning for the future, or trying to control what the next things are gonna be. And so sometimes the universe is like, here's something you weren't expecting, you know, star, this is very Uranian energy. You hosting Uranus in your 8th house, this is, you know, a place where you kind of have no choice but to remain open. And it's a place where other people are going to come into your life and shake things up a little for your growth. And it's not going to be something that you can control. It's not going to be something that you could throw in expectations, that you could do that kind of thing. And it's not something that you're going to be able to deny or walk away. It's just your soul has chosen this path. And I believe that the more that you try to, you refuse to surrender to the obvious flow and movement, the harder the month's going to be. Because remember, the Queen of Water easily overcomes this 9 of Swords. Easily. So yeah, you could feel restless. Yes, you could feel worried and stressed about situations that are not in your control. Or you could look at it in a completely different way, and you could say, oh, these things that are happening, these conversations, these people, these unions, these new things, these gifts from the universe are just simply giving me a different way to look at life. And if I could remain vulnerable and I could remain open, I can allow myself to have this experience. And to have this experience without the stress and anxiety, right? Like, this is a place of abundance. This is a place of not believing. And like, if you have to choose between worrying about all the worst case scenarios or being in the moment, enjoying the abundance that the universe is giving you, why would you choose this? Because clearly you know that one of these things has to go. And it's much easier to do these things, to take these risks, to understand what's truly happening. It's much easier when you go about it in an open and curious way. Bottom of the deck, we have this Eight of Cups, and that again is the ascension. Walking away from all of the things that you control and maintain in order to know that your life will remain the same, and going on the journey to find more, because he's searching for that ninth cup. And the Nine of Cups represents your dreams coming true, your wishes, but the wishes from the soul, not the wishes from the ego. And it's not about the ego. It's not about what other people think. It's not about that this month. It's about the 9 cups. And actually, if you take the 8 cups and then these 2 cups, that's the 10 of cups, and that's everything you ever wanted. Maybe you don't even know, because this 9 of swords tells me that you really you don't even know. And because you don't know what you actually want next, you slip into the magician in reverse mode, where you just hit a point where you stop creating anything. The universe wants to give you the Four of Wands, but he doesn't want to give you stagnation. So he's like, wake up, make a choice, make a call, follow the path that's being set in front of you, which means follow the path of least resistance. Divine timing, something or someone comes into your life, this opportunity comes into your life, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready, I don't know if this is what I really wanted. And then boom, Pisces moves back into your 5th house, joins back up with Saturn. Jupiter, not Pisces. Oh my God, guys, it's so obvious that it's retrograde Mercury. And these beautiful opportunities for the soul growth and the ascension disappear. They just disappear. And like I tell a lot of people, we're in a portal. Yeah, there's always going to be days where we're kind of back and forth, like the optimistic, positive thinking vibe, and then there's like days that everything sucks. And that's okay. As long as you know you can't stay in the everything sucks. My 9 of Pentacles is always a reminder to be grateful for the things that you do have. Be grateful for the opportunities that are coming in now. Gratitude, openness, stress, and anxiety. And you got 2 of these cards. I normally only pick one, but they seem to go hand in hand. Funny. Card number 31, breaking down to a 4. So this is the stability, and we have in the hand, the universe is your partner. And here we have these pentacles in his hand. And the magic really happens when you start believing the universe is your partner. See, this 2 of Cups leads to a much bigger 2 of Cups. It's not about this 2 of Cups. It's about these all kinds of 2 of Cups, these relationships that we have. And they teach us the ability to create a union with others, but really, like, the whole big thing is about the union with spirit, like the union of yourself. that intuition, that inside voice, that soul that you have, it needs to be shared with the universe. It needs to be shared with other people, just not all kept up inside. And here we have 47, the Sky Bridge, possibility for union. And this is another card reminding me of this portal and this path, this flow. You see it here, you see the path here. I think it's just really important for you to allow the flow into your life without a whole lot of resistance. Because ultimately your soul is not going to let you pass up this opportunity. 47 breaking down to card number 11, which is, divinity in itself. Yeah, there's going to be parts of you, Libra, that really want to control what's happening next and how it's going to go down. And that's fine. I think it's okay to allow yourself to kind of wear both hats this month in some ways. But make sure that you are not too rigid. Because being rigid means that the universe is talking to you and you're refusing to listen. It doesn't want to take the control from you. If it doesn't have to, it doesn't want to. But there will be reminders of how and why you need to listen to what the soul wants now. And your final card we got was card number 39, Moth Spirit, Surrender Now. And this is a surrendering. This is a doing it anyways. If you don't particularly know how it's going to turn out, it wasn't the thing that you were planning, it isn't how you thought it would happen or when you thought it would happen, and you're not sure if you're ready or if you've learned enough or you have enough money, but you're here now. And if you merge in union with Spirit and the universe, then you certainly know that everything will be fine. Because you have faith that all of this works the way that you believe in your soul that it works. And this is what we surrender. This is what we purge. This is what we wash away. Is the anxiety, the worst case scenarios, the mental cages that we build around ourselves, the regret, the remorse. And I just want to say, for some Libras, there might be things, opportunities coming your way that might actually maybe somewhat threaten your freedom, threaten your independence in a job, a partner, or something that comes along. And all of a sudden you start to fear being kind of held down, being accountable. Because I think for all of us, and especially for Libras, I think it's really important. You have Uranus and Taurus, which is another Venus sign. And it's just really, really important that we all are able to maintain our freedom. Because we don't want to go back to where we were. We don't want to go back to those old relationships or those old jobs where things were micromanaged. They were like very, I pick up like the shallow energy. So the universe brings in new situations and immediately our human mind goes to, oh, I just don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that thing. I don't want to fight for my freedom. I don't want to have to explain myself. And so you're judging, which is the call, you're judging the situation by what was in the past, how it happened in the past. But you're different now. They're different now. We're all different now. We're not making those same choices. We're not in that lower vibrational place. And I think you might think that you want or desire a certain kind of freedom, but that freedom comes in a different form than what you thought. Because this brings you the freedom to be yourself, to be authentic, to live your soul's purpose. And our mind can always deny us from reaching that point. It could always tell us we're not ready, the timing's not right, but timing's right. And you're clearly starting a new journey. And this guy in the Eight of Cups, he's not bringing all these swords with him. He's not bringing all that baggage. He's not bringing all those emotional things. And these are like the things we love. Because I don't pick up on a Libra that doesn't appreciate really what they had in the past. It's just that they don't want to experience it again. So you leave it there in the past and movement towards the future, movement towards your ascension. And the thing is, when you start to ask for this, when you start to ask Spirit, like I think some Libras may be actually talking to their guides, talking to the universe, journaling, doing, like whatever it is that you do, the vision boards, the new moon ceremonies, and asking for the things. And the universe hears you and they start to give it to you, and you're like, oh my God, but here's this comfort zone that I've been in. And if I have to reach for this, because this is kind of like the reaching for the star, here's a reaching for the star. These people are reaching for the stars. And if you are going to be able to reach, you have to get out of this comfort zone. All right, Libra, I'm going to leave it there. Really, really beautiful reading this month. I think that you're in for a lot of expansion and growth, and I think it's beautiful, guys, but please do not get stuck here. And try your best to stay grounded and away from anything that triggers this kind of feeling, like watching the news, being around those people in your life that maybe bring you down a few notches. The people that are like super negative and always complaining and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, protect yourself from those energies. And do what you have to do to remain in a place of peace where you can truly harness this relationship between you and Spirit, the relationship between you and your faith. And then the things that do come are just simply a result of that. All right, Libra, beautiful. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful month, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys. Bye.